I'm to Tambu, I can't do anything. And this is coming from a policeman. This is to just give you an indication of the status quo of our policing in this country. I commend the government to review the operations of police force in our country. Minister, after 3 days, you'll be coming up with a medium-term development strategy. That is really to grow the economy, as you pointed out, the Prime Minister. How can we grow an economy when there is constraint and impediments? I'm talking about law and order. And you said it yourself. The Prime Minister said it himself. We need to create a conducive environment for the private sector to be the engine of our economic growth. And law and order should be number one on the agenda of this government. Government is talking also about evolution of power in terms of decision making. And recently, Prime Minister announced in New Ireland that he wants to give greater autonomy. Let the province and district make their respective decisions on matters that affects them right at the door front. It's a noble initiative. Many provinces are ready. Many are not ready. And this is where the public sector needs to come together and to advise the government on the right path. These are some of the reforms that the government has introduced, and my colleagues will be speaking to you during the course of the 3-day summit on some of the things that they're doing to creating an enabling environment for private sector growth and economic growth. Finally, in terms of medium-term development strategy, to be delivered, Minister, changes must not only take place in the public service, more importantly, within us. Changes must begin with us as individuals, in our community and organization. You have mentioned in your many statements you have delivered, plan as good as that individual who is going to implement it. If that person has not changed himself or herself, how can the changes that we expect for the community come about? I think all of us in this room can agree that the future of our country rests in our hands today. What we need to do, and I commend the minister, is to work together. By working together, we will create a stronger, a better, and inclusive Papua New Guinea. My message to my colleagues here in the public service is very simple. Time has come now to take greater responsibility. We must never be ashamed or be a reluctant participant if we're not going to propose changes in our own respective organization. We must change. Change must happen within us as individual and our organization. In the next 3 days, when you discuss how we are going to formulate the medium-term development strategy, I encourage all of you, please be open-minded to tell us, public service, what we must do, what we must not do. And tell the government what changes you think is good for the public service to play its role in driving economic development and economic growth. Minister, I thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts. And listening to you this morning, you've challenged many of us today. We have traveled this journey 43 years. We're no longer a kid. We're an adult. Papua New Guinea is an adult. And your challenge is we have to act like an adult. Be like a parent. Be like a father. Behave like a mother. That is to create a better future for our children, the next generation. Prime Minister, you and I normally speak about the challenges of the public service, and I've just named only a few. I need the support of your colleagues and the government. And if we are going to drive these changes to change the public servants, to become more effective, to contribute towards achieving this inclusive growth, I think it rests on our leaders and every one of us to take ownership and to drive the changes that is needed in our public service today. I wish the Minister and your team every success, and God bless all of us in Papua New Guinea, and thank you for listening to me.